Good morning, everyone. Good to see everybody here on a Sunday morning. Today, we're here to talk about DeFi, the next frontier, revolutionizing cross-chain interoperability, infrastructure, and UX. And my name is Kevin Lee, and I'm today's moderator. I'm the managing partner of L2 Iterative Ventures. Maybe I'll start off with having the panelists give a brief introduction of themselves, and then we can kick off the panel. Why don't we start with Sean?
Hi everybody, my name is Sean and I'm the founder and CEO of RateX. RateX is the world's first margin yield trading protocol building on Solana right now.
Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Curtis, Chief Business Officer from Bloxroute. So Bloxroute Lab is a company that we do network-related technology on blockchain. And since 2019, we released our blockchain distribution network, and it has always been the fastest data acceleration network in the industry. We're well known in the MEV and DeFi space that we're providing speed and performance to a wide range of projects.
Hey, hello, it's Sam from Token Pocket Wallet, and I'm in charge of the marketing and operations. So, actually, it is very excited to share that this is the 7 years anniversary of Token Pocket, and Token Pocket is a world's leading multi-chain self-custodial wallet, and we built from 2018. And we currently are one of the top 2 wallets on Charm Network and BNB Chain networks, and we already serve for over 30 million users already. And yeah, the monthly active users is 3.5 million. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Terrence. I'm a former HFT trader, and I have 0 users on Hyperplex, so it's very impressive that I get to meet with you guys. But Hyperplex is all about building sophisticated financial derivatives. We think there's too many protocols that are just different variants of how do I buy this token, how do I sell that token, and it's about time we actually have some financial sophistication and utility. So Hyperplex is all about building positive gamma on-chain, which allows you to organically create any structured product, any equity premium structured product directly on-chain. And then we also have another product called BERV, which is our long-term play for handling interest rate derivatives. So yeah, the combination of the two should really push the industry forward in terms of the technology we have.
Thank you. And for those of you who are not familiar with L2 Iterative Ventures, we are actually an early-stage venture capital firm based out of the Bay Area in San Francisco and Hong Kong. So we invest in early-stage projects in the DeFi and infrastructure space in Web3. So maybe let me start off with a question around cross-chain interoperability. So we all understand that Ethereum, Solana, and recently Sonic and Bearchain, they all have really vibrant DeFi communities, right? But there's still so much to do in terms of making it cross-chain, seamlessly talking to different blockchain ecosystems. Can you guys, each of you, tell us how your projects actually enable more seamless integration across blockchain ecosystems? Maybe we'll start off with Sean.
Yeah, I think it's a very good question because we have already seen the liquidity is highly fragmented and across several chains, not only Ethereum, Solana, Bearchain, and even Arbitrum or OP. So I think it's pretty difficult for a DeFi protocol like us, especially for RateX. We are building for liquidities. So we're currently building on Solana, and we'll also expand to EVM ecosystem this month. So we need to deploy 2 separate programs, and we spend a lot of time and the resources on building 2 programs, both on EVM and the SVM. So I think that's the difficulty for nearly all the developers, especially for DeFi builders. I hope that one day there are a good chain abstraction layer that can be here for all the DeFi users or builders to build on top of it. Yeah, that's my thought.
Thank you. Curtis, any things?
Yeah, because a lot of our users from day one are actually on-chain market makers and algo traders, and a lot of them are trading in different avenues from on-chain to off-chain, like CeFi, DeFi, arbitrage, market making, and also like cross-chain, like arbitrage kind of like trading. And so like we understand that need like from day one. And last year we launched our like Bloxrout's like intent network. So as y'all know, like intent is a really good way to solve the problem of like cross-chain, because it actually sort of like take the like solver and like intent in a separate way. So like the things can be resolved like in a very creative manner, and it's a much better use of liquidity in like many definitions. So in our intent network, we're not like making an intent project, but instead like facilitating these intent projects to like have better performance and faster speed. So I'll give you an example. One of the intent project we support with our infrastructure actually is a very good, answer a lot of like good use case in DeFi, CeFi arbitrage, which is like the time is really important. And we actually make their performance like 50, 100 milliseconds faster. That makes them like their market making and arbitrage like a lot easier for our users and also that intent project. So I think like having this kind of like network infrastructure is actually helping like cross-chain interoperability, like from our definition.
Gotcha. Did you build this in-house? This solver network? Your
Yeah,
intent network?
we have like over 10 like patent technologies. Like we don't have a token. We don't really do smart contract. All we do is network layer technologies, and we're very well known for like low latency solutions in that sense.
Gotcha. Thank you, Curtis. Sam?
Actually, we talk about the cross-chain service, and Token Pocket has served like 100,000 users every day for their cross-chain bridge. And we have incorporated our transit finance, which is a swap and bridge aggregator. And we also natively integrate with the secure and the reliable cross-chain bridge service like the Auto Finance, like the Swift, like the MetaMask, like the Changely, to provide the cross-chain service to all the like Bitcoin users, Tron users, Ethereum users, and all the layer 2 users, and also including Solana. And currently, by the way, Token Pocket is a decentralized wallet, right? The gateways of Web3. Our Discover page has lists a lot of the trending cross-chain ecosystem dApps here, and helping users to discover and interact with the different cross-chain applications within our wallet. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good question, but I think we've already been there. Honestly, I think bridging technology is already good. You've mentioned that you have already 100 million volume going every day. You know, I think the key word is probably abstraction that Sean mentioned. At a high level, maybe it can be a little bit easier to say, I want to be on this chain, get me there a little bit quicker. But honestly, the technology is already phenomenal. And I also think that we're over-indexing because not a lot of people want to bridge, because what protocol isn't going to multi-deploy these days anyways? How many chains is Curve on, right? Like Curve is on 30 and counting, who knows? So the only time you really have to think about bridging is when it really integrates with the chain's features itself. And in that avenue, I think the chain itself is doing a lot. So, you know, I'm not too worried. I don't think Hyperplex does too much for this bridging environment, and we're okay with that.
Got it. On a related question, right? Obviously, cross-chain contributes like a user experience. So on user experience, what do you guys see, in addition to what we just talked about, as some of the key pain points for people to migrate onto DeFi, like getting more users, more adoption? And what are your specific projects doing to address some of these pain points, aside from what we just talked about on cross-chain? Maybe Sean?
Frankly speaking, I think nearly every isolated DeFi protocol has no problem in user experience. But what we lack right now is, I mean, we need a super app that can consolidate nearly all the features of every DeFi protocols together, and let this super app to be a good entry point for users to play on top of it. And we have already seen the Jupiter as a liquidity aggregator has already been this kind of super app on Solana. but I haven't seen some other super app like product on EVM ecosystem. I know a lot of wallets just want to be this super app, but I haven't found a very successful one at this time.
So maybe just to summarize what you just said, you probably think there are too many options out there, too many choices. You just want an aggregator that aggregates a lot of these things in one super app.
Yeah, when I was trying to achieve a sophisticated strategy on chain, I will probably use at least 5 DeFi protocols. So if you have a super app like Binance on chain, that makes things very easier.
Interesting. Curtis, maybe from an infrastructure standpoint, are there things that you guys are doing at Bloxroute that actually really enhances and solves one of those pain points for the users?
Cool. Like I have a very different point of view from that. I think there are two parts of it. Personally, in a personal point of view, I think like back in 2020, I remember I'm using I need to transfer like some USDT to from Ethereum chain to Polygon chain. And after 10 minutes of research, I found that my best option is to go to a website that actually looks like time traveled from 2005 to 2020. And then I have to trust that to send my 20K US dollar to on that. And then after I submit that, and then turns out it took me like 8 hours to complete the transaction. And in between, I totally lost hey, is my money still there or something? So that kind of scary experience, we've come a long way. That doesn't exist to date. But I think what Alexio from the last presenter said about best of both worlds from trustless and trust at the same time is really important. So right now there is still kind of fear factor to, are you keeping your seed phase? If you are sending to the wrong address, is your money lost forever? That kind of fear for a lot of retail users. So I think that kind of issues, we can still close the gap in between. So that's my, from a personal point of view. But from Bloxroute, because 95% of our products are for institutions, projects, and stuff. Only maybe 5% are for retail users. So not quite a user experience, expertise from our end. But what we believe is DeFi should be eventually as good as CeFi. And in terms of transactions that we are specialized in, what it means is when you send a transaction online through a wallet, through a trading bot or whatever, it shouldn't get fun run to start with. It should be really, really fast, not waiting 20 seconds or longer, okay? And also, I need to have a peace of mind that it's doing what I asked it to do. So these are the things that we're still working towards with our partners, with our internal dev team. But I think in terms of user experience, my expectation is DeFi should be eventually as good as DeFi in this measurements.
I think you guys also have a private meme pool that you guys launched to actually avoid some of these MEV attacks, right?
Yeah, right. Like private, we call private transaction or MEV protect transactions is a huge part of our offering. Right now, I think over 20 projects from DEXs, wallets, bridges, or other applications are sending all their users' transactions to us just to get front-running protection. Okay, and I think that's a huge offering of our part. So I think that's something we try to enable our partners and users to be able better transaction service to their users. I think that's one of our perspectives.
Yeah, and we got to thank you for that. I'm sure, Sam, you guys are directly interacting with the users, so you probably have a lot to comment on this point about user experience.
Yeah, I think the guys also talk about the mass adoptions, like the super apps. In the official ways, I will say, hey, we will enhance our wallet experience and to provide a better DeFi experience for our users. But this is a very normal and it's a very official answer, right? But currently in my mind, that we all know that this is an AI-driven center, right? So in my opinion, it is a time to integrate with the AI to provide a better experience for our users. Currently, maybe only less than 20% of the crypto users are diving into the DeFi ecosystem. I mean, the DeFi is staking, lend and borrowed. So why the users don't want to pay the DeFi projects? Because they don't know how to pay and what they can earn from it, right? So with the AIs, we can provide more professional guides and more professional data for users to know more about these projects. Like you can tell users so who is the investor of these DeFi projects, and you can also gain the data from the root data, right? And you can also tell the users to analyze what are the DeFi OG users did in the past few weeks or past few months, and to analyze their transactions on chain, and then to provide a fully detailed history or fully detailed guidelines for users to make a financial advisors for users, like, oh, you can do this to dive into the DeFi projects. And that's what the AIs can completely interact with all the necessary information for users to help them to dive into the DeFi projects. Right? So I think that's currently in my mind. This is the incomplete ideas in my mind. But I think we can do more better than what I said. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Yeah, I mean, consistent to your comment, actually, at our firm, we strongly believe that a lot of the infrastructure today may be built for AI agents in blockchain. So we're a really big believer in this new term, decentralized FAI, like.
Yeah, you know that, like in maybe on Solana we can see a lot of the AI agent meme coins. They are pumped, right? But I think the real AI agent currently for Web3, they need to dive into the real users' usage. Yeah, they need to provide more useful guidelines for users to help users to dive more into the Web3 ecosystem, like the DeFi, like the GameFi projects, right?
Yeah, Terrence, do you have anything to add on your end?
Yeah, I have a very trader-focused perspective. I think all of you guys have mentioned good points for one category of users, which is around mass adoption. And I guess we come from a very different side, as we are here to help people make money, and so we're focused on people who are trying to be as active as possible in DeFi. And that happens very naturally to us because I guess we are traders ourselves. I've personally done around like 9 figures of notional volume every year in DeFi. So I know that community really well. And for them, they are willing to claw through any level of UX as long as the money is worth it. And so I think that's a different way we think about UX is, if there's 20% on the table, are you willing to put in an hour of work to figure out how you're going to earn that 20%? Because, right, nothing comes for free. If you're willing to put in more work than the other person, you're going to have higher returns. And so for us, UX is all about, right now, it's not the difficulty of using the protocol that matters. It's what yields can you actually get for it, and how do I find these yields? Just to leave us with one example, sorry for rambling, is usual USD. They had a whole fiasco. You can't redeem, whatever. Redemption is harder. But right now, their staking yield is still 10%. That's pretty high. I can understand why that's scary. But the alternative is LPing for USDO and USDC. And that is earning, a concentrated position is earning around 35% right now, a reasonably one. And the funny part is that LP position is way less risky than staking USDO. But people don't understand that, because the moment they see concentrated liquidity position, they're like, that's too much to learn, right? And so the real question is, at what level of yield does that LP pair have to be where people will finally figure out, hey, I should really just be LPing instead of staking?
Got it. So to my next question, which is like for Terrence and Sean, since both you guys are operating in the yield enhancing space, your project, Sean, RateX, as a leverage yield trading marketplace, can you guys just talk about how each of your projects really help users, or LPs in your case, enhance their return?
Yeah, I think everybody thought Redux is a yield farming hub. Actually, we 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 are actually a yield farming hub, but Redux was initially designed for margin yield trading, but because people like trading the future value of those points, so they treated Redux as a the yield and points farming hub, and because I think that the first thing we are doing in crypto is tokenizing yield, and then we offer the trading service for yield trading, and we create a principal token and yield token, and that's what exactly we're doing right now. So we're basically I would say it's a Binance for yield, and if you're just trying to farm the yield and points in Redux, you can not only get you can not only get the several points in one click, but also you can earn the trading fee from our users as a liquidity provider. So I think that's the value add of Redux right now. So we're not a yield aggregator or something like this. We are basically a yield exchange.
Thanks, Sean. Terrence?
We think really hard about what you can do on top of the primitives that exist rather than trying to build a new primitive. So there's too many examples. I'm not going to go through all of them with what we do, but one example that's really easy to understand is the way we optimize your UniV3 position. So if you have a UniV3 position, you're earning fees over a series of ticks, and one, that doesn't get auto-compounded because auto-compounding in NFT positions is really hard. And there are auto-compounders out there you can pay for, but they auto-compound the fees over the entire range. What do we do instead? We take a Bayesian approach to auto-compounding, and this is one that you would legitimately take when you're being a professional trader, and it's that conditioned on the fact that a tick has already earned fees, it is more likely to earn fees again, right? And so why would you auto-compound over the whole range? You should auto-compound towards the ticks that have just been earning fees, and there's like math theorems you can reference, Glavenko, Cantelli being probably the biggest one, that tell you this approximates the truly optimal distribution for your liquidity. And so the point is, I don't expect the average user to understand that type of strategizing. But I do expect ourselves to be able to make that type of strategizing easy for the average user to do. That all these math theorems we can package up together and say, hey, this is the optimal approach, we can prove why, and all you have to do is just deposit in us.
So what would be your sort of a pitch? Why would an LP like myself rehypothecate my tokens with you?
Yeah, I appreciate that question. So we take two approaches. We make sure that our optimizations are non-modifying. So that means when you deposit into us with your UniV L3 position, we don't change your range. Hey, you chose this range. We want to make sure nothing about that, and you have total control over this. I see that as very different than an active manager who just requires a lot of trust. We're gonna active managers rebalance without telling you, they pick the range, and often at the end of the day, after fees, they really don't make you any money. So we put the onus on you, and we just let you say, hey, this is what you wanna do, and we can help make that a little more optimal. The second approach is we are very transparent about risks, and for a lot of the optimizations we do, they are not going to be any more risky than what you are already doing. For example, lending market rehypothecation. We take out the ranges of your LP that are not active and just put it into Aave and move it back when the time comes that they actually need to be used. Right? There's very little risk. At this point, Aave is basically riskless, and you just walk away with an extra 2-3%.
But it's still trusting you to put it into Aave.
Yeah. Well, it's all on chain, so
Okay.
trusting the smart contract.
Gotcha. Maybe Bloxroute. Question for you. So right now there's a lot of talk about institutions coming into the space. A lot of excitement from the likes of BlackRock, Fidelity. How is Bloxroute positioned to sort of service some of these new institutions that are coming in? Some of them are high, like HFT traders. Like, how are you guys sort of building your platform, your network, to actually handle some of these newcomers into the space?
Oh, thanks. That's a question that we can like talk for like 3 hours, but we probably have like 2 minutes on this one. So
Yeah, 15, I can give you 15 minutes.
wow. Okay, cool. I don't think like that's fair to anyone. But anyway, so, so I think the interesting part is like I can say that Bloxroute has like 20, 30 products, but I can also say that Bloxroute only has like one product. Okay, because as I mentioned, we released this thing called we call the blockchain distribution network, the BDM. Basically, is a like global relay of like highly optimized low latency network, because a lot of the data like getting transferred from this way to another is actually like through P2P network. Okay, and it's very inefficient and sometimes very not reliable. So like we optimize the process, and pretty much I would say that a lot of the existing process, no matter what you do on chain, you are not optimizing it because it's not designed to be functioning that way. So to us, the easy way to understanding is like we are like your phone is running on the 3G network, which sucks like if you're playing games or playing video, right? We just add a SIM card to your phone, which is 5G, and it can simultaneously connecting to your 2 SIM cards, and then whoever is faster, you can take that route. So we just run everything way faster by what you're doing. So that's basically what we do. And from what you say, we do a lot of like algo traders, HFTs, and like on-chain market makers can make like a lot of money based on what we offer. Because like I talked to one of the head of trading in a big firm, and then like he told me that actually every 15 milliseconds we offer them as an advantage faster, he can actually see it like at the end of the P&L from his like monthly P&L with every 15 milliseconds. And we're giving them something like 100 milliseconds or something like that. So actually the application is very far. And from what you asked, like where we are like putting our like core competence in low latency DeFi to everyone, we're actually doing a lot. For example, last year we noticed that like, hey, the money is in the like trading bots because of the meme coin market on Solana and stuff. We right now I think like 70% of the meme coin like major meme coin platforms and trading bots on Solana are sending all their users' transactions to Bloxroute to get the highest lending rate and like landing speed. So, and like we made Bloxroute from 2023 we have like, I don't know, less than 20 million US dollar revenue, and last year we're closing our year over 100 million revenue. Mostly because of we are looking at, hey, where our speed and low latency solution can contribute the most, create value the most on chain, and then we make product based on our core competence. That's what we're doing, and I think like I don't have time to talk about our 20 other products, but I think like that's our direction of like seeing where we need low latency DeFi, and we are providing that and build product based on that.
Are you in fact seeing this trend with institutions coming in?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Okay, I'll give you one more example. For example, when institutions are coming, a lot of them, like they're not like seeing like as Terrence see that, hey, we can get like 10, 15, 20% doing what? They're just going, for example, they think that, hey, Ethereum is a very safe bet. So they want to run a high volume of like Ethereum validator, okay, to earn some very stable income and stuff. And they think that believe if we invest in like blockchain, we should just buy a bunch of ETH, something like that. So, like, but their question is like a lot of this NOC service provider, when they provide service to them, they have a wide range of compliance that like is very specific to the jurisdiction or stuff like that. And then they notice that there's no solution in the market that can do it with like not hurting the return and like fitting a specific like compliance requirements. But we launched something what we call the validator gateway last year, and then it effectively getting like 5 to 8% extra return to like when you're running a Ethereum validator, plus a feature to let you use your own filter of like, hey, I want more than OFAC compliance list. I want another list that fit, I don't know, Japanese jurisdiction or something. You can just customize your need. Technically, it's very hard to do because it involves the builder, the validator, the relay, and stuff. But we find a way to solve it. So it actually solves a lot of problem with the big institutions coming to DeFi in a way. So that's one way we're doing it, right?
Thanks, Curtis. Sam, a question on you about wallets. So there's like a lot of wallet options out there for users today. How do you think of balancing what you're offering in terms of security and also like convenience and user experience for your audience?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think currently Token Pocket is one of the wallet that has the most of the asset management methods available today. And for example, we have our native multi-sig wallet features that help a lot of the companies and users to store their huge assets, right? As we all know that maybe there is a hacker attack happened this year because of the multi-sig wallet. But for Token Pocket wallet, for Token Pocket multi-sig features, we are totally natively integrated within our wallet. So users don't need to worry more about the third-party web page attack from the other side. So this is the advantages of our multi-sig wallet features. And the watch-only wallet and cold wallet, and also the most popular features within our wallets, and is also super recommended by our users. For our both mobile versions and Charm extension version, we also support users to use the watch-only wallet and work with the dynamic QR code of the cold wallet to make the transactions totally offline. And besides these two options, we also have the pass-phase methods to help users to safeguard their secure phase. And about the questions how to balance their users' experience and security, like as we all know that this is a meme coin world, right? There are lots of users are using the trading bot, but there is a high risk because the trading bots will store their secret phrase or private keys on live or on their service. Within Token Pockets, we also launched our meme mode for the meme trader, but the advantages is we totally decentralized meme mode trading, and we can also make the transactions within a second. And yeah, we are very committed with the decentralized, I mean your keys, your coins. And with the Token Pockets, for the meme traders, you can trade your meme coins and you can control all the risk keys, and you can control your keys within your Token Pocket wallets, and yeah, to fully control your assets. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Maybe let me shift gears a bit, something that's of my interest. So let me ask you all panelists here, each of you, how are you guys leveraging AI in your protocol these days? I'm very interested to know, since there's a lot of development that's going on almost every week in AI, how are you guys sort of leveraging this tool to help your product experience or help onboard users? We'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts are.
We definitely think that AI should be the most important innovation in this world, not only in crypto. And we have actively contacting some DeFi agents, providers, and see if we can put AI on our client service. And we are actually expecting that AI agent can do more for the DeFi protocol like us. But right now I think it's a little bit disappointing at this time. But but I think the AI agent, especially in DeFi, we should give them some time and the way to see that by the end of this year there are probably some progress here in DeFi in DeFi AI area. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, like AI is definitely not like BlockRound's edge, or like we're doing nothing about AI. And from we do have products to facilitate the AI projects, but right now I would think that like there are still not enough actual delivered solutions that are solving real problems like in the crypto AI world. A lot of them are just like having narratives and stories to tell that has yet to be proven, like from my point of view. And in terms of applying like AI agents like in our like offerings, I think like we're actively looking for chances to apply that. I'll give you an example. So one of the things that we do is like we need to identify like on Solana, because like on Solana getting front run is huge, and like as a service provider, as an infrastructure provider, we need to figure out where the problems are like appearing, like where the transaction get leaked out and get front run, stuff like that. So we are using an AI agent to figure out like to do like data analysis on where the data actually got leaked out, and from the entire flow from to leaders and the turbine protocol, and then to different validators where it got leaked out and which are the problems. And then we actively try to like update our whitelist and stuff, so that like there's a feature in our protocol that like when our users are submitting transactions and when they're trying to not get front run, there is the optimal balance between speed and like not getting front run, that kind of protection. So we're using like external tools to try to help to enhance with our product, but we're not actually like creating our own AI agents, and we're not like big in like adapting that like at this point.
Gotcha. So mostly just enhancing your own internal workflows. Okay. Sam?
Yeah, actually, in the past few months, our teams are working on discover about the MCP, and we are also thinking about how can we use like MCP to make users' wallet interactions more easier. So, like for example, I can directly say to my TP wallet, token pocket wallet, hey TP, help me to transfer one source to some address, and I just need to enter the address. So and yeah, we are working on we are also working on some AI interactions to enhance users' experience, just like I mentioned that if AI can make more guidelines for users to dive into the DeFi ecosystem, that's what we are thinking about, and I think we're gonna release a demos, an AI wallet demos in the upcoming months, and I think that will be a really game changers in this year. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I think AI is the super app that Sean was talking about. It's just so easy to interact with everything on DeFi once you have someone to talk to about it. But for us personally, I think AI agents are going to be phenomenal for more sophisticated DeFi applications. I'm sure I feel this way. I'm sure every founder probably still feels this way, no matter the size of your company. But we would love to sit down with every single one of our users and explain, oh, this is exactly what we do. These are the exact risks involved, and answer every question that you might have about using your protocol. And unfortunately, like 2 years ago when we first came out with our original beta product, that was what I was doing for a really long time, and I just couldn't keep up. And now that there are AI agents, like, we can just make an even smarter version of me that gets to do that with every single person. And so we're super grateful for that development as far as how much it helps DeFi.
Are you guys using it in your protocol at all right now? Or?
So our protocol doesn't use it. I don't think DeFi protocols themselves are going to want AI specifically within the protocol, because there is an unreliability factor. Like, I was asking it for coffee the other day, and it made up a coffee house that doesn't exist. I showed up, and it wasn't there. But I think if you've built AI agents with LangChain before, I think that's a pretty popular tooling setup. I do see DeFi protocols building actions, and just handing those actions over to other actual agent companies. So that's probably the extent to what we would do.
Got it. I don't know if we have time for one more, but maybe a quick one. Can you guys just give your one-word sentence or response around how you think regulation would impact this industry or your project? Positive, negative, and why? One sentence. Sean?
Yeah, positive. I would like to say positive. And I just want the regulation framework can be clear. And that's it. Thank you.
Doomsday, maybe.
I think for us, maybe we just need to make a balance between our wallet service and the regulations. Yeah.
Who knows and who cares? It's DeFi. Who's going to stop us?
All right, thanks guys. Thanks everyone for your time. All right, thanks panelists.